Good morning and welcome to our 11th standard biozoology lessons. Biozoology, which includes two volumes. The first volume has 7 lessons and the first chapter, the living world. It is very easy and simple lesson only. Living world, the earth, which consists of various organisms from invertebrates like insects and vertebrates like fishes, okay, reptiles and birds, mammals, all it includes. We are going to see and discuss in this lesson. Okay. Now we'll see about first the living world. In this chapter, what are the learning objectives we are going to see today? Two things. We are going to learn about the importance of the living world and its diversity. What is diversity of living organism means? You can see here various living organism. So variability among the living organism is called diversity. Variety of animals is called diversity. That we are going to learn in this lesson. And second one, if all these animals are like this, without any classification, it is very difficult to understand. So it is very important. There is a need for classification. These are the two important things we are going to see today. So about this living world, an introduction part, you can see all living organisms, they live on the earth, they coexist with each other. That means coexist means they depend on each other and they live together. Okay, and there are about 8.7 million species of animals have been identified and named and described and classified. How many million species of animals were identified? 8.7 million species of animals were identified and the name also given to them. So it is about 86% of all the species on the land, that is terrestrial animal, and 91% of the animals living in the seas are not yet discovered. So what we have named and identified, they are very little only. So there are vast varieties of animals. They are living in the land as well as in the sea. So who is on the topmost position of all the animals? Human beings. We are standing on the topmost position on the hierarchy. So hierarchy means a system of organization of the animals where human being we are standing on the topmost position. So, but we are also depending on various plants and animals for our food. That means all living organisms, they depend on each other. There is an interrelationship between each other. Now, we'll see about next slide regarding the animals, how they are useful to us, how we are depending on the animals. Animals, you can see the useful animals. These are pet animals. These are farm animals. Animals are used as source of labor. They are useful in farming as pet animals and economically benefited animals like sheep. Okay, and understanding these animals and their characteristic features, we must know about their habitats where they live. Whether terrestrial or habitat is nothing but the place where they are living. So it may be terrestrial or sea or aquatic. We must know about the animal behavior, character, how they behave. And there is a relationship, it's very important. Evolutionary relationship among the animals is very important. Fish, and it leads to amphibians, amphibians lead to reptiles, reptiles leads to birds, and birds leads to mammals. So there is a evolutionary relationship it occurs, that is also we are going to learn. So in the chapter we are going to learn about diversity of animals and what is the need for classification and what are the types of classification, taxonomical hierarchy, and how we are naming the animal nomenclature, what are the tools we are using for studying the taxonomy. Now, you can see here diversity in the living world. I said biodiversity. Diversity means what? There is variability among the living organism. So, this is our earth. It consists of various habitat. Habitat means living place with a wide range of living organism. They are living in the various habitat. So you can see plants, animals, they are occupying all the places. It may be a shallow lagoons. Shallow lagoons means uppu neer eri. Okay, to the that is shallow. It is very ஆழமில்லாத other sorry, we call it as shallow lagoons. And the deepest ocean, so in the deepest ocean also you can see some animals they will live, and in the shallow lagoons also some animals they will live. In the polar ice caps you can see the polar bears they live, and in the volcanic hot springs at the lower region also some animals they will live. And tropical rainforest, you can see this is the tropical rainforest where there is more rainfall, and you can see if there is dry desert area also some plants animal species will be there. So what is this? A variety of plant and animal species, they are living in all the habitats where they can able to adapt themselves to live in the various, diverse means various ecosystem. So in all the different habitats it's occupied by various living plants as well as by the animals. And this is the polar bear volcanic eruption, and this is called shallow lagoons. So it is nothing but lagoons means I said salt lake. Okay, but it is shallow means it is depthless, we call it as. Okay, now we'll see about ecosystem. Now we are coming to the point ecosystem. So if you are having a notebook separately for biozoology and take the notes also. Ecosystem. What is the definition for it? It is a community of living organism where you can see what are living organism, plants and animals in the same ecosystem. Non-living environment is also there. Minerals, soil, water, climate, sunlight, both are dependent on each other. So living organisms, they depend on non-living environment. There is an interrelationship between living organism and non-living environment, and that is called as ecosystem. Who first explained this ecosystem and coined the term and explained? The great person called A.G. Tansley in 1935. So whenever you recall the term ecosystem, memorize the name A.G. Tansley in 1935. Good. Now, have you noted the name pa? A.G. Tansley 1935 and the definition for ecosystem. Now coming to the next important person, Walter Rosen. In the 1985, he coined the term biodiversity or biological diversity. What is the meaning for this? There is a presence of a large number of species in a particular ecosystem. So particular ecosystem, whatever habitat it may be an ecosystem where you can see very large number of species, that is called as variety of species living in an ecosystem, that is called as biodiversity. And this term biodiversity was first introduced by the great man called Walter Rosen in the year 1985. Okay, this man, he was popularized because he coined the term biodiversity, Walter Rosen. And this definition for this later it was given by another person called E.D. Wilson. So we have studied two important terms here: ecosystem by A.G. Tansley in 1935 and biodiversity by Walter Rosen in 1985. And these terms and their definition for ecosystem you have to memorize. Now I said biodiversity and the term was coined by Walter Rosen in 1985. So what is biodiversity or biological diversity? Diversity in a meaning in a variety, variability among the living organism. Okay, so variability of species, you can see a lot of organisms here. It may be a small plant species or it is an invertebrate like insects. Okay, and you can see that is the frog, that is the most of the invertebrates, starfish, echinodermata, and these are the invertebrates you can see here, and fishes, amphibians, some other reptiles. Okay, and the birds, owl, and you can see the monkeys, and the topmost category, apes and mammals. All these are variety of living organism. It is called as biodiversity. Okay, one more definition was given: the richness in variety and variability of a species. You can see in a bird, a particular owl, you can see there are various varieties of owl species will be there. So that is called as variety of species in a same species itself. So richness in variety and variability of a species of all the living organism in a given habitat. Habitat is a place where living organisms are there, and that is defined as biodiversity. So we can say variability among the living organism. What are the habitat? I said terrestrial, marine, seawater is called marine, and other aquatic ecosystem. It may be pond, any other ecosystem, and the ecological complexes. And this is the definition for biodiversity. So who coined the term first biodiversity? Walter Russell. So what is biodiversity? Richness in variety and variability of a species of all living organisms in a given habitat. Okay. Now coming to the next, I said living organism, non-living organism. Living in the habitat, there is an interrelationship between each other. Both are dependent on each other. Living means plants and animals. Is there any difference between living organism and non-living organism? Yes. So we can see some important characters which are present only in living organism like animals, various organism, which is absent in non-living organism like rock, okay, stones, like this various non-living organism they do not possess. Cellular organization. All living organisms they are made up of cells. It is present in the living organism. Nutrition. All the living organisms they require food as a nutrition. They respire. They need oxygen to respire. They undergo metabolic activities. There will be a growth of the body cells. It will occur. Okay, cells they can multiply and growth will occur. They show response to the stimuli. Response to stimuli. So the plants they can grow towards the light. Phototrophism they can show. Okay, and if there is any heat or shock, will show the stimuli, response to the stimuli. So that is present in living organism. Will show movement towards a particular direction. And all living organisms they reproduce. They are having the capacity of reproduction. And living organisms they can excrete their waste in the form of nitrogenous paste, ammonia, urea, or uric acid. They excrete. And the animals they are adapted to live in various habitats. I said it may be aquatic or terrestrial or aerial. All the animals they are occupying all the habitat because they are adapted to live in the different habitats, and they possess homeostasis. So what is homeostasis? It is nothing but maintaining constant inner state. So for example, we are having the normal body temperature, isn't it? It is a constant body temperature. Like this constant internal water, okay, 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit. So that is 90, that is our body temperature is maintained constant means we can say like this the observations of the scientists it lead to the classification of the living organism and they are interrelated to each other. Yes, thank you. We'll see the next slide.